Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Chapter 11. I'll give you the wind, you hurry. Jung Bojin's tone was very cold, and he left after speaking. Xiao Yu looked at his ragged appearance, secretly cursed a few words, and pushed the door in. What came into view were hundreds of spirit beast cages neatly arranged. The moment the door opened, all the spirit beasts looked over. He clearly saw the anticipation in the eyes of the spirit beasts. This was both unexpected and expected. The introduction in the book is very clear that spirit beasts have an innate sensitivity to humans with strong spiritual power. With his spiritual power close to 8, it should arouse the interest of spirit beasts. However, he didn't expect that the reaction of the spirit beasts would be so great. When I first enter the spirit beast pavilion, I can make all spirit beasts treat them like this, but I am afraid that I am the first person since the establishment of the Exploding Heaven Academy. Xiao Yu thought so. However, before he could be happy, the expectation in the eyes of the spirit beasts turned into disappointment. Because they found out that this uninvited guest was not the person they wanted to see. They wanted to see Lee Shu. Xiao Yu did not pay attention to the change in the mood in the eyes of the spirit beasts, and he was now bent on finding the goose-yellow little beast to prove that he was the rookie king. He must become the first celestial pride among the freshmen to sign a spirit beast. After glancing around, a touch of goose yellow appeared in the corner of the spirit beast pavilion. Choosy is not difficult to find, because he was the only goose yellow beast in the entire spirit beast pavilion. Xiao Yu rubbed his eyes, and once wondered if he was mistaken. Why not cultivate? Why is it still sleeping? Is it caused by too much cultivation? It should be. Otherwise, it would not have been possible to be favored by the freshman named Xiaoshu. Let me be your master. A few steps to the goose yellow beast. Race, beast, level, G, bloodline, modeled. Although he had been mentally prepared, Xiao Yu still couldn't hide his disappointment. If it weren't for proving that he was better than others, he would never have chosen this little beast. Low blood veins are one reason. There's another reason, it's too fat. It's so fat, such a figure has no advantage at all in hand-to-hand combat. Even if it is a long-range attack, I am afraid that it will not easily dodge. It looked like he was being beaten. You, arise, I give you the right to sign with me. Xiao Yu spoke coldly, his eyes full of disdain. In his opinion, signing a contract with the goose yellow beast is a charity to Choosy. Phew, snap. Xiao Yu stretched out his hand into the spirit beast cage and slapped Choosy's head hard. Choosy suddenly woke up and looked at the person who came impatiently. Pick up, Xiaoshu, you have a problem. Quote, Not Xiaoshu. Ragged. When did Fried Sky Academy mix in and ask for a meal? He actually ran to the spirit beast pavilion. Doesn't anyone care? Looking again, Choosy found something wrong. Although the person came in rags, his face was very handsome. He has a standard face as a dead supporting actor. Pick up, IRNM. You be like definitely can't live more than 3 episodes. Quote, Yo, the temper is not small. Look at your own identity, you are just a beast with a low bloodline that has no signing value. I'm also stupid, I'm angry with an animal, he can't understand people anyway. Xiao Yu laughed at himself, and then took out his signing mark from his forehead and put it in front of Choosy. Xiao Yu's face immediately turned pale, and he barely stood up by holding the spirit beast cage. For him, it is still too reluctant to take out his signing imprint. After all, the signing mark is related to the soul. However, the fact that the freshman could take out his soul mark alone was enough to prove that his spiritual power was strong. Strong spiritual power is the best thing to attract spirit beasts. He didn't believe that the goose yellow beast could refuse. Choosy took his signing mark and put it in front of him seriously. Seeing this, Xiao Yu smiled smugly. Really, I'm the rookie king. The first person among the freshmen to sign a spirit beast could only be me. How did it go back? Why bent down again? Is this a show of respect for powerful people? Choosy bent over, his 2 front paws propped up on the ground, one hind leg half kneeling, and the other hind leg bent. People who don't understand this posture will definitely think that Choosy is showing his respect for the contract owner. But Blue Star people who understand this posture know that this is the starting action during the 100-meter sprint. Click on the mall and purchase the property Dan. Agility is full, strength is full. Rush duck. Choosy turned into a yellow lightning bolt and rushed to Xiao Yu's contract mark in one step. The left leg is supported and the right leg is raised high. A heavy kick was suffocated on the contract imprint. Go you, Ru. The contract mark brushed the tip of Xiao Yu's nose, and continued to bounce after hitting the wall. It took more than a dozen laps before it landed in front of another spirit beast cage with a bang. This stinky foot. The national football team looked at it but called it an insider. Xiao Yu's body shook violently, and a mouthful of blood spewed out with a wow. Staring at Choosy, the killing intent in his eyes was pervasive. Actually kicked my contract imprint like a ball. I thought you were showing me respect. He now wanted to strangle Choosy alive, but he couldn't do it. Murdering any spirit beast will lose the qualification to sign again. Pick up, ha, see what? Choosy looked at Xiao Yu defiantly. Good, you will die in the spirit beast pavilion all your life. If you are contracted, I will kill you and your contract master. Quote. Pick up, threaten me. Lao Su didn't plan to go out. When Lao Su went out, he would already be a divine beast in human form. Still afraid of you stinky fish rotten shrimp. Quote. Click on the mall and buy, skill, lightning whip. The goose yellow fluff flashes with electric light. Pika. Touch Lao Su again, Lao Su electrocutes you. Xiao Yu stopped looking at him and turned around and walked towards another spirit beast cage. Because the old dean only gave him 2 hours to contract the spirit beast, he couldn't waste time on Choosy. Even if he couldn't contract this little goose yellow beast, he had to contract something else to prove his talent. But Choosy had already entered his must-kill list. Coming to another spirit beast cage, his contract mark was here. You, make a contract with me. The E-level 4-legged little beast didn't even look at him and continued to cultivate. Xiao Yu, you're deaf. Are you deaf? Can this also fail? Doesn't it mean that the intermediate cultivator contract E-level spirit beast is not a big problem? Maybe this is a fool. Taking back the contract mark, he handed it to another spirit beast. You, pact with me. Also rejected. Xiao Yu, you all have problems in your heads, right? You guys are really the worst group of spirit beasts I've ever seen. You, pact with me. Quote, you make a contract with me. Quote, let's make a contract, right? Quote, please, make a contract with me. Xiao Yu had contracted almost every spirit beast, but without exception, all of them had failed. Fail to fail and fail again, am I still not a genius? Xiao Yu began to doubt his talent. After tossing and turning a few times, Xiao Yu saw the goose yellow beast again. It's actually sleeping again. The fierce color in his eyes flashed, and Xiao Yu tiptoed to Choosy. At the same time, Zheng Bojin, who was booing in the grass, heard the old dean's eager shout. Run, come on, Xiao Shu is here. Zheng Bojin did not hesitate, turned into a yo-yo on the spot, threw Xiao Yu and ran. Good risk. Almost discovered by Xiao Shu. The old dean looked in the direction of the spirit beast pavilion with trepidation. Looking back, I realized that there was one less person. What about Xiao Yu? It's still in the spirit beast pavilion. Ha, you threw him there. Quote, Lord Dean didn't say let me take him away. It's over, prepare the elixir to treat Xiao Yu's injuries. It won't be killed. Quote, probably not. Lee Shu's footsteps sounded. Xiao Yu no longer hesitated and slapped Choosy in the cage. Chapter 12. Xiao Yu did not dare to really kill Choosy. Otherwise, he will lose the opportunity to contract the spirit beast. But it was impossible for him to swallow the evil anger of the contract mark being kicked as a ball just now. It is still okay to leave Choosy with a dark wound that cannot be healed. Another point is that what you can't get, other freshmen definitely can't get. After injuring the goose yellow beast, the freshman named Xiaoshu naturally couldn't choose to contract with it. Then he fought with Xiaoshu's Yun, although it was not a win, but it could not be considered a loss. Xiao Yu thought like this, and his palm fell heavily. Choosy was shocked. The spirit beast cage was too small, and there was almost no room to dodge. Choosy hurriedly clicked on the mall to buy defensive pills, and conveniently bought a few defensive magic weapons to wear on his body. While Xiao Yu's palm had not yet fallen, Choosy spent less than a tenth of a second to think of a clever plan to kill with a knife. Because he saw Lee Shu standing at the door. At the same time, he remembered what Lee Shu had told him. Kill whoever signs a contract with. Pick up, handsome guy, I'm going to sign with you. Quote. Lee Shu, who had just arrived at the door of the Spirit Beast Pavilion, was immediately taken aback. Xiao Ai's classmate actually wants to sign a contract with him. With one step out, Lee Shu appeared in front of Xiao Yu like a ghost. A phantom appeared in his arm, and he grabbed Xiao Yu's hand that had not yet fallen. Choosy. At that time, Xiao Yu's palm was less than 0.01 centimeters from my body, but I didn't panic at all, and I almost laughed. I know that the owner of the palm will be beaten after a quarter of the incense. Because I just lied. Although I have told countless lies in my life, this one I think is the most insidious. Really. There was a crisp sound of bones shattering in my ears. Then came a scream that made Pikachu's scalp tingle. Duh. Ah. Xiao Yu screamed. The old dean in the distance and Jung Bojin only pouted their teeth. But they also breathed a sigh of relief. At least Xiao Yu has not been killed by Lee Shu now. Xiao Ai, how is he better than me? Qualifications. It's amazing. Mind, rotten to the extreme. Quote, strength, vulnerable, with. Each sentence, Lee Shu's hand increased by 1 point. Xiao Yu's screams increased by 1 point. Turning her head, Lee Shu looked into Xiao Yu's eyes. The biting chill made Xiao Yu couldn't help but tremble. Facing Lee Shu, it was as if facing the mastery of the world. Just you. Want to contract my little love classmate too? I see you're trying to die. Today I will tell you that you can tell others that if anyone wants to contract him, measure it with his own life first. If you are not afraid of death, just try. I don't care what kind of forces are behind you, no one can save your lives. Lee Shu domineeringly declared his ownership of Choosy. The breath of the female emperor came to her face. Xiao Yu shivered. Choosy swallowed his saliva. He knew that Lee Shu's words were actually said to him. Oh, did I say I was going to sign him? Did you hear you wrong? Hearing this, the gloomy look on Lee Shu's face gradually receded, but the chill remained. With a flick of his hand, Xiao Yu flew straight out like a cannonball. It didn't stop until I hit the rockery and rolled down into the grass next to it. Jung Bojin's face changed, not good. The old dean was startled and thought that Xiao Yu was dead. Jung Bojin scratched his head a little embarrassed, I peed there just now. The two tiptoed to the half-dead Xiao Yu, pinched their noses and pulled him up. Drops of yellow liquid flowed down. The hand was broken, and there were many fractures all over the body. However, it is not life-threatening. Only then did the old dean put down his heart and ridicule. Bojin, you've been a little hot lately. Choosy wiped the cold sweat on his forehead. Pikachu limited edition scared.jpg. This is too scary. He really felt the killing intent just now. Is this the female pig's foot that only exists in the novel? Mew mew mew. I didn't want to deal with other people, and I wanted that kid to pass a word for me just now, so I didn't kill him. Lee Shu said a little apologetically. But that kid's hand was broken by me, and it can be regarded as an outlet for you. It won't be like that next time. What I say is still counting, who you choose, who I kill. Turning his head, Lee Shu looked at the door of the Spirit Beast Pavilion and said coldly. Subconsciously, she had already regarded Choosy as her own contract beast, and she would never tolerate others getting involved. Why do you like that? What can I not compare to him? Choosy suddenly felt that these words were somewhat familiar. Isn't this a common line in a dog blood love triangle? Don't you really think I want to sign up for the kind of dead supporting actor? With his face written as death, such a person will definitely not live for 3 episodes. I signed with him to find my own death. The mortality rate of signing supporting actors is much higher than that of signing actresses. That's my experience. I just signed you, and I won't sign him. Lee Shu was happy in her heart, but she didn't understand. Then you just said you were going to sign him. You must not have been killing with a knife just now, right? Before he finished speaking, Lee Shu's face immediately changed. Choosy nodded and did not deny it. I can't beat him at all in the spirit beast cage, and I think I may, almost, probably, maybe not be able to beat that grandson. But I can't suffer either, can I? Didn't you say that whoever I sign will kill whoever you kill? So, even if I fight to punch him, I have to drag you into the water. The more Lee Shu listened, the more shocked she became. What kind of brain is this? Is this something that a divine beast can come up with? Shouldn't the divine beast choose to be positive in order to maintain its dignity and pride? Even if you are invincible, you must protect the glory of your family with blood. The blood of the divine beast is indisgraced. Why don't I see anything in him? Possible. Xiao Ai's classmate is talented. Actual. Choosy only wanted salted fish. It didn't take long. Along with the morning sun, a gentle singing voice sounded in the spirit beast pavilion. As soon as the song was composed, a familiar and beautiful prompt sounded. Ding. Special task. Listening to Lee Shu's singing has been completed. Mission reward. 2 million salted fish value. Because Lee Shu's singing voice is too beautiful, 1 million salted fish value is rewarded extraordinarily. Current salted fish value. 3,102,541. Choosy was excited. With these salted fish values, you can buy a lot of attribute pills. It's a big step forward since he transformed into a human form. How do you feel the power of the wind? Lee Shu asked with concern. You are out of tune, making me lose my aura for a moment, and the power of the wind becomes other forces. As for what it is, I still have to study it. You stand down. After speaking, Choosy closed his eyes and began to buy attribute pills wildly. Lee Shu was helpless, so she had to retreat angrily. Just out of the gate of the spirit beast pavilion, Lee Shu's face immediately became gloomy, and she walked straight to the old dean's office. Chapter 13. I remember I told you very clearly, don't let others sign my spirit beast, don't you understand? Lee Shu spilled all the anger he received from Choosy on the old dean's body. Being pointed at by the trainees like this, the old dean said that it was the first time he had been a dean for so many years. However, not only did he not dare to be angry, but he also had to serve with promises. After all, this matter was something he had guaranteed before. There is a more important point. When Lee Shu just entered the door, he broke his current bottleneck with a word. You have a good talent, the imperial level should not be your limit, but your cultivation method is not right. I will give you 4 mantras, you help me suppress this matter. Recognize the 9 houses and 9 stars, and the 8 doors go one by one. The 9 palaces are the value symbols, and the 8 gates are self-distinguishing. A few simple words directly shocked the old dean. With his imperial cultivator's state of mind, he couldn't understand what Lee Shu was saying at all, but he felt that these words were very powerful. I didn't understand, but I was shocked. I don't know how to feel it. Pondering carefully, these few sentences are his point. Non-profound people cannot have such understanding. But why did Lee Shu have such an understanding? The old dean carefully studied her materials when she was enrolled. Buff. Everything about Lee Shu is a mystery. But one thing is certain. Lee Shu is a Terran. It is enough to know this. As for Lee Shu's origin, why delve into it? In case there is really some earth-shattering secret involved, it will not benefit the old dean at all. It's hard to be confused. Xiaoshu, don't be angry, you listen to my quibbles. Let's not talk about that G-class beast, so to speak, he will not help you at all, and will even drag you down. With your qualifications, you can completely sign those 4 A-grade spirit beasts. Of course, the A-grade spirit beast is only your transition, and the S-grade spirit beast is your real beginning. The old dean said seriously. Our academy can't provide you with the opportunity to sign an S-grade spirit beast so far, you need to fight for it yourself. In 3 months, the competition of the 7 colleges will begin. The winner will have the opportunity to sign an S-class spirit beast, and that is your goal. Originally, freshmen were not qualified to participate, but I tried my best to get you a chance. With the strength of your current spirit level cultivator, plus an A-grade spirit beast, you have a great chance of winning the championship in the 7th-grade academy. Although it has been nearly 100 years since no trainee can sign an S-grade spirit beast, I have inexplicable confidence in you. The winners of the 7 academies will be eligible to sign S-class spirit beasts. However, being eligible does not mean that you can sign up. Winner is just an admission ticket to sign an S-class spirit beast. If you want to sign a successful contract, you need to be recognized by the contract beast. Let them see the benefits of signing up with you. However, the strength of the trainees is generally not very strong, and what can really attract the contract beast is the talent and potential of the trainees. In 100 years, no academy has been able to sign a contract with an S-class contract beast, which is enough to see the difficulty of this matter. Because the higher the level of the contract beast, the higher the wisdom. When the Terrans choose the contract beast is also choosing the Terran race. Of course, Lee Shu knew this, so she chose to join the academy in the first place. This is the fastest way to sign an S-class spirit beast. However, Lee Shu changed her mind when she saw Choosy. S-class spirit beasts with high intelligence. Can you have a little love classmate? High S-class spirit beasts are strong. Xiaoai classmates have high potential. Can S-level spirit beasts share skills with their masters? Xiaoai classmates bring their own gifted skills. S-class spirit beast. Conservative estimate, Xiaoai classmates started SSS first generation divine beast. How to compare? There is no comparison. For Lee Shu, letting Xiaoai compare with S-class spirit beasts is the biggest insult to him. Not interested. Gone. Don't touch that little beast, I don't want to kill. The one named Xiao Yu, you will see how to deal with it yourself, don't let him affect me to sign Xiaoai classmates. Otherwise, one day I will destroy his entire clan. Duh. The office door was slammed shut. The old dean was messy. Not interested in signing S-class spirit beasts. You're going crazy. Your talent is visible to the naked eye and can definitely attract the attention of S-grade spirit beasts. Don't talk about S-grade spirit beasts. If I were a spirit beast, I would have to rush to sign a contract with you. The old dean thought so. That little goose yellow beast left it alone for the time being. The current priority is to let Lee Shu participate in the Academy Championship. Thinking of this, the old dean suddenly felt very funny. In previous years' competitions, the trainees fought for the first place. In the end, it was no longer a fight between the trainees, but a family fight behind the cadets. As a last resort, the Empire established an internal selection system. Only the top 8 in terms of combined combat power are eligible to participate in the tournament. Such a rare opportunity, Lee Shu was actually not interested. What was she thinking? The old dean fell into a long thought. As for Xiao Yu, who was injured, it was not in his consideration at all. It's normal for classmates to fight each other, and it's normal to break arms and legs, and whoever is dissatisfied can directly submit a protest to a higher level. A fluttering sentence sent the Xiao family away. The people of the Xiao family did not dare to say anything more. Because this is the Exploding Heaven Academy directly under the Empire, it is a place to cultivate talents for the Empire. If anyone dares to extend their hand to the Academy, the controller of the Empire does not mind killing chickens and monkeys. Now, there are 2 things before the old dean. One was to find a way to let Lee Shu participate in the 7 great colleges competition of the Tianyuan continent to win her a chance to sign an S-grade spirit beast. Second, find a quiet place to understand Lee Shu's 4 mantras. 2 things are equally important. Not long after, the senior management of the college gathered in the old dean's office. Looking for everyone today, one thing. I want Lee Shu to participate in the academy battle. The mentors were just about to express their opinions, but were stopped by the old dean's raised hand. It sounds ridiculous to have a freshman go to the academy competition. However, Lee Shu has this strength. The mentors were in an uproar. We all know that Lee Shu is talented, but I didn't expect that the old dean would actually give such a high evaluation. The problem now is that Xiaoshu doesn't want to go. Before the instructors could catch their breath, they were in an uproar again. Don't want to go. Every year for this place, I have to fight for a place and break the blood, and now the opportunity is in front of me, but I don't want to go. Everyone gave an idea to see if there was any way to persuade Xiaoshu. Now, there is only one thing in front of Lee Shu. How can I get Xiaoai to sign a contract with me? Now, there is also one thing in front of Choosy. It's a good thing, and it's a bad thing. The salted fish system is seriously ill. Chapter 14. Wake up. The 3 million salted fish value has been basically emptied. Various attributes have also been improved considerably. For this, Choosy is still very happy. What made him even happier was that the hidden taskbar, which had never been lit up, also lit up at the moment when the salted fish value was emptied. Special missions are worth 1 million salted fish, and the rewards of hidden missions are not allowed to take off. Xingchong clicked on Hide Taskbar, but when he saw the task content, Choosy once wondered if the system had committed some serious illness. Activate Hidden Mission. choose the contractor to sign the contract, limited to 3 months. The earlier you complete the reward, the higher the reward. 4 million salted fish value. Special attribute Dan *100. Skill, soul communication, spirit beast, magic weapon, electric shock rod. Note: the essence of salted fish is to enjoy life, although the spirit beast pavilion can meet the minimum salted fish needs, but it cannot fully develop the essence of salted fish. This sentence can be regarded as speaking to Choosy's heart. Spirit beast pavilion is good. Great for salted fish. But at the end of the day, it's a cage. There is not even the most basic freedom. Perhaps the salted fish system sees this in mind to activate hidden missions. Although Xiao Yu was beaten away by Lee Shu, he didn't know when Li Yu, Zhang Yu, and Wang Yu would come out again. If you are constantly disturbed by these people, you are annoyed to death, how can you still be in the mood for salted fish? Choosing a contractor can solve these problems well. Only, who is better to choose? While thinking, Lee Shu was already standing in front of him. Fingers gently rubbed his little furry head. Yay! Lee Shu screamed and looked at his right hand in shock. It's only been 1 day. How to grow so much? It's not over. Could it really be that the power of the wind was transformed into other forces as he said? Originally, Lee Shu would still believe in doubt, but now he completely believed Choosy's words. Vomiting Lei Yu really contains power that ordinary people can hardly imagine. Sign. Must be signed. A divine beast with such strong potential must not be let go. I can sign you up. Before Lee Shu finished speaking, Choosy interrupted her. Lee Shu's mouth grew and she couldn't believe that this sentence came out of Choosy's mouth. The attitude was still very resolute 2 days ago, why did it suddenly change today? But you have to meet a few conditions from me, otherwise, I still won't sign with you. Seeing Choosy's solemn words, Lee Shu tried to calm her excited heart. Nodding yes. Don't say a few conditions, even if there are dozens of conditions, I agree. After receiving Lee Shu's assurance, Choosy slowly spoke. First, you have to learn from me, keep a low profile, and don't easily provoke trouble. Especially the cleaning, boiler burning, and gatekeepers, these types of people should not be messed with. Sweeping monk, firehead, the gatekeeper of the hidden scripture pavilion. In the novel, these types of people are the most dangerous. Maybe some unearthly master is hidden in it. For the sake of safety, it is best to hide away from these people. Yes, Lee Shu promised to come down. The types of people Choosy said will not intersect with her. Second, you can't force me when I don't want to shoot. Yes, without hesitation, Lee Shu also agreed. She wasn't very worried about that. Xiao Ai's classmate is still young, and it is normal to have no desire to fight. But Xiao Ai-san is a spirit beast after all, and fighting is his instinct. After a long time, awakening the fighting instinct, he will move on his own. Lee Shu has this confidence. Third, you have to hurry up and sign other spirit beasts. The higher the level, the better, and the more domineering you look, the better. Why? Lee Shu was puzzled. With such a powerful spirit beast as Xiao Ai, there is no need to sign other spirit beasts. As long as he grows up, the lower limit is also the level of divine beasts. If you cultivate it well, you may be able to become an existence above all divine beasts. However, Choosy had his own considerations. He had written novels in a previous life and knew that it would be dangerous to walk too close to a pig's foot. Moreover, this is a world dominated by imperial beasts, and spirit beasts are indispensable to fight side by side with Lee Shu. Taking the lead for the pig's foot and stealing his limelight is simply the only way to die. Therefore, Choosy would ask Lee Shu to sign another spirit beast to be his substitute messenger. Just like Only You sings, I will come with the black pot and send you to death. In order for the avatar emissary to live for 2 more years, its strength must be strong. Looks have to be domineering. In this way, you can pull more hatred for yourself. At the very least, he must live until the moment he becomes a divine beast. At that time, everything was different. The strongest spirit beasts in the Exploding Heaven Academy are the 4 A-grade spirit beasts above. What do you think of them? A-grade spirit beast. It can only be said so. Works. But I can't live for 3 episodes. What about the divine beast? Divine beast, you think it's a Chinese cabbage. Apart from you, I haven't seen a second divine beast. Even if there is, it is in the hands of the powerful hands of the Terrans, and ordinary people have no chance to sign a contract at all. It is precisely because of this that Lee Shu is so attached to Choosy. Of course, there is another reason. Choosy can always make her feel close. This is a feeling that she has never had in her 2 lives, and Lee Shu cherishes it very much. The more indifferent the person, the more he longs for warmth in his heart. But apathetic people often don't know how to get warmth. But well, right now, there is a time to sign an S-grade spirit beast, which should be the strongest spirit beast I can think of besides you. Where? Imperial Center, Tianyuan City. There will be a competition in the 7 major academies. As long as you can win the championship, you will have the opportunity to sign an S-grade spirit beast. It's next month. In the dean's office, the senior officials of the academy were also discussing the matter of letting Lee Shu participate in the academy hegemony. Guys, have we forgotten a little? There are only 8 places. If Lee Shu goes, someone will definitely be replaced. And the quota has been confirmed last month. If we change it privately, I am afraid that the trainees will not be convinced. Hearing this, the old dean also frowned. After all, Exploding Heaven Academy was not his word. It is indeed unruly to let a freshman represent the Exploding Heaven Academy. Or, internal tryouts for Lee Shu to try. If she can fight for a place with her strength, the others will have nothing to say. Jung Bojin suggested. However, those 3rd grades have been cooperating with spirit beasts for 2 years, and they have a very tacit understanding with each other. Lee Shu doesn't even have a spirit beast. How to fight? In a word, the office was quiet again. We all know that Lee Shu has good qualifications and is invincible when he grows up. The point is that she hasn't grown up yet. In this way, I will go to Lee Shu tomorrow with Vice President Han Peng, take advantage of the last month, try to help her improve, and let her sign a spirit beast by the way. Everyone nodded. At the moment, it seems that there is only one way to let Lee Shu participate in the academy hegemony. The other side. Inside the spirit beast pavilion. Lee Shu and Choosy also prepared the signing ceremony. Chapter 15. Finally about to sign a contract. Lee Shu almost cried. As a female emperor all her life, when did she whisper so lowly? Everywhere you go, don't you have to be honored as Lord Female Emperor? Even if he came to this life, he was a unique existence after entering the Exploding Heaven Academy. I never have to attend classes and have my own private room. No one is allowed to disturb without their own permission. In a word, Jung Bojin took her to the Spirit Beast Pavilion and randomly selected the Spirit Beast. Entering the Spirit Beast Pavilion, as soon as the contract mark was taken out, 4A grade Spirit Beast scrambled to grab the contract. Even if he is the dean of the Exploding Heaven Academy, doesn't he also need his own guidance? It's biased. I can't do anything about a little goose yellow beast. If only he were just an ordinary little beast. It's biased. He is a primordial divine beast cub. What does the original divine beast mean? He will mean a strong bloodline. Bring your own gifted skills. It will even inherit the treasures of the beginning of heaven and earth. Once it grows up, it is not weaker than the legendary 4 divine beasts. It will be even stronger. The 4 divine beasts have such a high wisdom as him when they are young. Know how to kill with a knife? Not at all. There are mythical beasts, and Xiaoai classmates have. What the divine beast does not have, Xiaoai classmates also have. Only one point is that Xiaoai classmate does not have the majesty of being a divine beast at all. So what's the matter? As long as I teach him well, coupled with his diligence, in less than 100 years, he will definitely grow into an existence that is not weaker than the 4 divine beasts. Lee Shu thought like this, full of confidence in creating a powerful divine beast. Hold your breath. Call, suck, call, suck. Lee Shu once again took out the soul mark. Powerful, majestic, and divine breath comes to the face. The entire spirit beast pavilion fell into madness. The 4A grade spirit beasts on the top floor were roaring. The more powerful the spirit beast, the more it could detect Lee Shu's proud talent. Choosy reached out and took it and placed it on his forehead. Strands of filaments emanated from the soul imprint, condensed into chains, and communicated the souls of the 2. Then, an overwhelming stream of information flowed back and forth. It was a fragment of the memory of the 2. At this moment, the memories of the 2 began to be shared. In the picture, a young girl is born. With her innately strong spiritual power, from the moment she stepped into the world of immortal cultivation, she attracted all the attention of the Terrans. Decisive along the way, never hesitating. The enemies along the way transformed into her long steps to the imperial realm. Fight, fight, fight. Step away. Even if she is a daughter, she is just as arrogant. A sword swings out of the mountains and rivers, and the people of the same generation are invincible. Choosy sighed and sighed. This is also outrageous. It's unreasonable. If I were to write a novel, I wouldn't dare to write that. Any genius has to have a growth process, right? But she seems to have been born strong. Choosy commented. The screen turns again. The girl's face was still grim, but the years had left traces on her jade-like face. The wind hit, the hair flew, and the soft clothes were blown with a grin, outlining Lee Shu's perfect figure. Choosy's eyes straightened. Groove. That's too big. I want to be a point guard. As soon as the words fell, she drew the long sword at her waist. A sword swings out of the mountains and rivers, everything falls, and the demons are pawns. Countless creatures groaned in pain at her feet, groaned. But she just took up the knife and fell with the knife in her hand, slashing from Mount Punglai Immortal to the foot of Mount Meru. Not blinking. Although Choosy had never seen it, he also guessed that these should be the alien races in Lee Shu's mouth. The sword light lasted in the void for months, and the entire continent trembled. All the aliens were crawling at her feet. She's alone. Her name is Lee Shu, also called the female emperor. A woman who truly stands at the pinnacle of the Terrans. In the final battle, she sacrificed the immortal weapon in her hand alone, breaking through the dimensional barrier and saving the fire of the Terran race rising again. Through the dimensional wall, from another world. That's all about Lee Shu. It's wonderful but also boring. Wonderful battles, boring life. Afraid of omissions, Choosy took a cursory look at her memory again. Gradually, the corners of Choosy's mouth turned up slightly. Xiaoshu really hasn't been in love, Chu. Z didn't know why he was so vicious, but he wanted to do it. Opening his eyes and looking at the jade-like woman in front of him, Choosy suddenly felt incredible. It was hard for him to imagine that the woman in his memory would be the same person as Xiaoshu in front of him. Although Xiaoshu in front of her is also cold, she can do spa, can sing the outside world, can sing only you. Choosy has no doubt, if she lets that female emperor do these things, she is afraid that she will be hacked to death. To sum up, Lee Shu gave him a feeling of indifference but surprisingly strong. Lee Shu closed her eyes and was also reading Choosy's memory. 3 years ago. The same 3 years ago. 3 years ago it was when she came into the world. And it was the same day. The fragments of memories about Choosy began 3 years ago. A small goose yellow beast opened its eyes in confusion. Dull, cute, silly, somewhat stained with cerebral palsy. The corners of Lee Shu's mouth turned up unconsciously. She knew that this cute little beast was the little love classmate in her mouth. Then, Xiao Ai's classmate was pulled up by the bounty hunter with his tail. He doesn't struggle either. Looking at his appearance, it seems that he is too lazy to struggle. Then, Xiao Ai was sold to Fried Sky Academy by a bounty hunter. After a series of tests, he was placed in the Spirit Beast Pavilion of the Exploding Heaven Academy. Then, Xiao Ai began his salted fish life. Eat, sleep. Look at other spirit beasts cultivating. Eat, sleep. Look at other spirit beasts cultivating. And so on for 3 years. If anything, he's fat. Other than that, Lee Shu hardly saw any difference in him than when he first arrived. This is all the memories of Xiao Ai. To sum it up, it's one word. Surprisingly lazy. The memory of the two sides was exchanged. The next step is the reciprocal disclosure of the identity information of the two. As the initiator, Lee Shu first saw Choosy's information. Name, Choosy. Race, beast, Pikachu. Age, 3. Bloodline level, D. Growable. 5 element attributes, wood, water. Skill, lightning whip. The more Lee Shu looked at it, the more surprised she became. He actually has a name and a surname. Choosy, much worse than Xiao Ai's classmates. Lee Shu was not very satisfied with Choosy's name, but happy with the rest of him. His ID tag was marked with AG, which was tested by the academy when he entered the cabinet. There can be absolutely nothing wrong with that. When I saw him for the first time, Xiaoai quietly became F. Now it is already a D grade spirit beast. Although the D level spirit beast is not a strong spirit beast, growth means that he has unlimited possibilities. Although many spirit beasts are grown, growable is not the same as growable. The growth of other spirit beasts is only slightly enhanced on the original basis. But Xiaoai's growth ability refers to can grow on a rocket. Speed is not the same. At the same time, Choosy also got Lee Shu's information. This is the benefit of equal contracts. Information can be shared between the two sides, so that they can give full play to their respective strengths when fighting against others. However, not every spirit beast is qualified to sign an equal contract with the host. This requires the host's mental strength to be strong, and it is more necessary for the two parties to fit perfectly in spirit. Obviously, Choosy and Lee Shu have a perfect fit. Name: Lee Shu. Race: Terrans. Realm: Spirit level growable. Contract beast: Pikachu. The information is very simple, just like her person. Not long after, the contract imprint that the two fused together split in two. Each one is the original size. One flew back to Lee Shu's forehead and merged with her. The other remained at Choosy's soul. Lee Shu opened her eyes, and the surprise in her eyes became stronger. She didn't know him because she signed a contract with Choosy. On the contrary, she felt that she could not see through Choosy even more. For example, why can he become able to advance while lying down? For another example, how is Xiaoai's contract imprint different from what is written in the book? How do I feel that I signed a contract not as a spirit beast, but more like a person? Pika Pika. Opening the door of the spirit beast cage, Lee Shu took Choosy out and put it in his arms. She did not put the spirit beast inside the spirit beast ball like other imperial beast masters. However, Choosy still felt the existence of ball. 2. Ding. Signed successfully. Hidden tasks completed. Get rewards. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.